Poll for today. On balance, in your view, does international trade between countries help create jobs in the U.S. or cause job losses in the U.S.? Joe Biden becomes first and only Democrat to condemn Antifa attack on reporter. Efforts to repair the damages suffered by Joe Biden at a disastrous Democrat debate are ongoing, and in a shocking twist, he became the only 2020 candidate to condemn a sick act of violence. The former vice president finally appears to have realized that there is no way that you are ever going to satisfy extremists by kowtowing to them, and in a stunning political move, has dared to infuriate the Twitter mob with an unprecedented condemnation of the violent Antifa thugs who are running wild in the streets. Following the horrific beating of conservative reporter Andy Ngo last weekend in Portland by black-clad goons, not one Democrat spoke out against the political violence that they have done much to foment. But Lunchpail Joe needs serious help to pull out of his screaming tailspin, and dared to say that which has gone unspoken, and did so to the New York Post in a statement provided by his campaign. Via the New York Post, Biden condemns violent Antifa assault on conservative journalist Andy Ngo. Former Vice President Joe Biden spoke out against the violent assault on journalist Andy Ngo. The Democratic presidential candidate believes violence directed at anyone because of their political opinions is never acceptable, regardless of what those beliefs might be, a campaign spokesman said in a statement to the Post. He believes freedom of expression is fundamental to who we are as Americans, and that Andy Ngo's attackers should be identified and investigated. It was a disgraceful reminder of just how far gone that the current iteration of the Democratic Party has become, with their win-at-all-costs mentality that has come to include intimidation tactics, harassment of Trump supporters, and in the case of Ngo, tactics that were utilized by the Sturmabteilung in 1930s Germany. Portland Tribune. Content warning: a second video shows the violent attacks during a protest in downtown Portland today. Video by Sergio Olmos, _ It was clear that Ngo was targeted, and that the vicious attack which put him in the hospital with serious injuries including a brain bleed, and in calling for the terrorists to be identified and investigated, Biden has set himself apart from the rest of the 2020 field. Biden also apologized for his much maligned comments that favorable of two pro-segregationist Dixiecrat senators, which allowed his vile race-baiting opponent Kamala Harris to inflict a potentially fatal wound on his campaign during the first debate. While the borderline senile Beltway creature may be an anachronism in the age of divisive identity politics, Biden still possesses the sort of keen instincts of a career politician, and with his apology, he just sucked the air out of Harris' balloon. Combined with his criticism of socialist Twitter diva Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, lack of enthusiasm for radical ideas like Medicare for all and the decriminalizing of illegal immigration, the denunciation of the masked hate mob shows that Biden is looking to reboot his campaign. Not that they already don't hate him for his skin color and his part of the evil patriarchy, but the ex-VP likely infuriated a sizable chunk of his party's aggressively socialist base with the stunning gambit that is certain to infuriate those whose continued silence on Antifa amounts to a tacit endorsement. Hey Bernie, where you at?